This is a different experience. I've been away from it for so long. So there's the cutting is a different process. With the Kawandi, you cut as you go, but it's like I'm having to come into this experience from a completely different part of my brain. And well, here's where I am so far. I've started putting pieces up on the wall, certain fabrics that I think I'm going to want to use. What I'll do with them, of course, is another matter. I have started cutting squares, and I think I'm going to use, at least yesterday, my plan was to use a similar technique to what I used on the Bali quilt. Everything was square, so that meant when you started lining them up and putting them together, I want this to be easier than completely wild and free. That's actually harder, but if I have a sort of grid idea. But now I'm starting to think that the ones that actually are perfectly divided are too rigid. Maybe they should be, if I want two colors in one little block, maybe they should not be so perfect. Now the way you get them this way is using a shortcut. You cut your fabrics on the diagonal and then sew them together in strips, and then you cut squares. So you already have that seam going across the diagonal of your little square. It's kind of a shortcut, although it's not that fast. It's not as fast as just whacking away. Whacking away is easy, but when you start putting it all together, you don't have any regularity or anything to depend on or fit it to. So it's kind of a mixed bag. So even when I was making this type of quilt before, I certainly was growing away from the formal design aspect of traditional regular patterns. The minute you looked at a quilt, you knew what you were looking at. So I guess what we're really talking about is the pain and joy of creativity. There's risk-taking and there's elation. I'm on the journey.